Today, Precarious plays Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
What a detailed rendering of that child.
It is not bad at all for an N64 game.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, decisions to be made. I always pick Anakin, so I don't want to pick Anakin.
Oh.
I always do, so I'm going to pick someone else.
Why do you pick Anakin?
Because he is the iconic pod racer. It's really cool, and they actually bothered to render the sort of like stabilizers that flex. There's 3 prongs in the front of each of the engines. They open as you turn and move. It's a really cool visual effect.
Well, what are the other racers?
They're all fine. I think.
This guy.
That guy?
It's got a face I love.
That's your guy?
It's got a face anyone could love.
No.
Okay.
No, his name is Dud.
His name is Dud Bolt.
Listen.
Probably goes by Bolt.
I don't know all of the specifications of pod racing. I'm confident if there's one thing you don't want on your pod racer, it's a Dud Bolt. Cascano, he seems like a cool... No, his air brakes suck. Never mind.
Yeah, go by stats. If we're not going to have the classic, then let's go by stats.
Let's see. Decent acceleration. Sort of higher stuff overall. Yeah, I'll go with Odie Mandrell.
He's my cousin. Odie.
Do I even do you start with anything? I should explain something. We were talking one day about games that we played when we were young.
Yeah.
And it turns out we both had very formative, important racing games that we were playing at roughly the same time. And we're going to play both of them.
So wait, how old were you when you were playing this game?
Immaterial. Moving on.
Okay.
The important thing is that I'll just start. We'll just start the race. And we're going to skip the little cutscene because I'm worried that it's going to break something. It has been a trial getting this game up and running and recording. I'm still kind of worried that it's not going to stick and we're going to wind up with some broken footage at the end of this.
So we've decided to play our respective racing game, our childhood racing games.
Yeah, we're going to share them, and mine is Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, and yours is...
Mega Race.
Mega Race?
Which can barely be called a racing game. I don't know. It's hard for me to judge any kind of quality because I have not played it since the 1832 or 33. I can't remember.
When it was released as a special edition.
Yeah, it was the kind of game that came with the computer, okay? Which doesn't always mean anything, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to sharing Mega Race with you and also sharing Mega Race with me because I kind of don't remember really anything about the game except for like Lance Boyle, the weird host, and how like awkwardly violent it was and how I could not believe that I was allowed to play it.
Oh boy, introductory pod racers are kind of crap. And this thing, it's so huge. The engines are so chubby.
So, when did this game come out? It's episode 1, so it's episode 1 Racer.
I think we would have been in like this is still really broad, but like the 6 to 10 range.
Age-wise?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that seems about right for when I was playing Mega Race. So, I really like the look of this game. But I don't think I've ever played it.
Well, let me explain a few important details. What do you know about pod racing to start with?
It's, so fast it sounds dumb when you hear about it.
Yeah.
It's like...
Canonically, it's supposed to be too fast for humans to participate.
Oh, okay. Well, I remember, I guess I got the impression of that. But, like, it's so fast that you would just blow up. So it is extremely fast.
Yeah, right now we're moving at 400 speed units
460 speeds per speed. Speeds per distance.
Oh no, we're about to hit the 700 mark. That's enough to peel your skin off.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing we didn't pick that Anakin wimp. So...
Shoot, I forgot to put it on winner take all. Oh, well.
Oh. Well,
next time.
Anyways, this, there's that. I recognize what pod racers look like with like the big stupid engines and basically like a garden chair strapped to the back of them. You know, it's like, here, let's strap 2 jet engines together with some life force, and then let's tether those to a lawn chair, and then let's see how fast we can go over obstacles. And they levitate for some reason, which I don't fully understand because they never park either. But you know, that's this universe's
no
deal.
one fully understands that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know, like, they just rub the... I remember watching a lot of, like, behind-the-scenes Star Wars stuff. And...
You can ignore him.
Oh, okay.
He's just grumbling. He's just a grumbler.
Okay, so this is just a sassy basket. Okay,
yeah.
But anyway...
Man, they really put, like, one of the best of everything in here right away. Or some of the best, but I can't afford any of it.
Oh, who keeps walking in front of you?
That's our hero, Odie.
Oh. Well, for the original Star Wars, to make the floating cards, they actually like, well,
mushed
vehicles.
Oh, you're about to say. Sorry, I don't want to steal your thunder.
They
but I know this one.
Put like Vaseline on the camera lens to blur it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dog. That is so low tech. I love it.
Not a good line. Oh. Okay.
This place
boy.
is pretty spooky. So tell me about how you progress this game. Like,
so
it's fast.
What's happening here?
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, this game is basically kind of like the prequel to the one pod racing scene in episode 1.
Uh-huh.
This track is so dangerous because it's really easy to lap people because it's so short.
Yeah.
It's one of the only times for me that other racers actually become a problem. Because right now I am in like first plus 3, basically, because
okay.
I've lapped the people in 12th and 11th place.
Oh.
Yeah. But this is functionally the prequel to the one pod racing scene in the film.
Oh, okay.
Which I maintain was just an elaborate, very expensive trailer for this game. There are 3.5 tournaments, basically. Mm-hmm. Cups. And it ends with the race from the movie.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Oh, I should mention, I didn't want to get... from what I understand, as part of like the Star Wars acquisition, Disney got its own Death Star.
Oh.
And I don't want to be obliterated from orbit for having the music play. So I turned the music off. I think it really only... Like, there's sort of a triumphant track that plays whenever you unlock a new racer, like we just did.
Yeah.
And the final lap of every race shares the same, like, tense music. But otherwise, I don't actually think there's really that much music in the game. But I love this game, and I like it more. I've gained a greater appreciation for it as I've gotten older.
Yeah. This is where our paths diverge, whereas I have not played Mega Race ever again.
But I love this game, and I wish... yes. I wish that I could... I wish that another game... I wish I had found another game that worked similar to this one, because it's... I'll try to describe it as we play. Here, let's just start the race. And you know what? It doesn't seem to be breaking anything, so let's watch this one. Let's watch one of these. They're obviously really tiny because they are at their native resolution. They didn't upscale them at all.
Yeah.
But this was new to me because I played it on the N64.
Oh.
And I think this game was also in arcades. I don't know if this version of it was in the arcades or not, though. But anyway, this is a PC version, and it has those cute little introductory cutscenes.
In the arcades, would you have been able to sit in there like a pod racer, like how they had the...
And it had its own control scheme that is, you can kind of replicate with a joystick. I couldn't get it working. I wanted to try it for this series.
Yeah.
But, okay. In arcades, you would have two throttle controls.
Oh.
And one of them controlled, like the right stick controlled the right engine and vice versa with the left. So to accelerate, you would press both of them forward in a mighty way.
Fun.
Oh, no. Did I save it? Did I save it?
Did you?
You get very slippery on ice because you are gonna kill him.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're pod racing. Now see, here it is. I knew it was gonna happen sooner or later. This is pod racing. Usually I get a commanding lead and then never see my opponents again.
Oh.
It's that kind of game. I don't think that there's any real rubber banding, so it's possible to just take the lead and keep it forever, you know? I'm sorry, that guy interrupted me. What was I talking about? Something pod racing? The arcade controls,
yeah.
Right? So, yeah, with the N64 version, there was actually a cheat code. I think you had to put in a cheat code. You could connect two N64 controllers and then hold them just by like that middle wing.
Oh,
and then play with the two joysticks in the same way.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so to turn right, for example, you'd press forward on the left throttle and pull back on the right. Stuff like that. All right, so what makes this game unique? Nope, that's fine. What makes this game unique, other than just like the aesthetic, which is really cool, like these floating chariots, these floating space chariots. So you'll see down near the accelerometer, you see that meter that fills up with red?
Yeah.
That happens whenever I'm holding forward. Whenever it maxes out, that little green bubble will turn yellow.
Yeah.
At that point, you can boost. And it is a very... Like, boosting in racing games, like arcade racers, is not... Like, that's all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Usually, though, it's keyed to an object in the environment, like a boost pad, or say, like, in Mario Kart, where you have, like, a mushroom, right, that lets you boost. This, it's all in your hands, and it has a element of risk versus reward. So see how it's filling up with purple, and it's starting to give me a temp warning in the bottom left-hand corner? If I exceed my pod racer's ability to like cool the engines down, the engines will overheat and catch fire.
So do you have to use the boost to cool the engines down? No,
it's the other way around. You right now this is just thrust. What I'm doing right now is I'm thrusting. This is boosting. It has a pretty... I'll try to be quiet so you can hear the noise. Yeah, it goes meow, and the little icon turns red over there, and I get a temp warning in the left-hand corner. Just letting off the boost lets the engines cool down. You can actually... There are two indicators. So the border on the left around the engine indicator, that will slowly turn blue again as your engines cool down. But you can also tell just by looking at the exhaust trail from the where the engines, like where the thrust is emitted from.
I see it. So
right now it's white.
Yeah.
Next time I boost, which will probably be after this ice sliding section. Yeah. Hit the middle of the engine. That's a rarity. Okay, there we go. Easy. So I'm gonna boost soon. Watch the exhaust trail slowly turn dark gray.
Okay.
Okay, now You see it?
Yeah, so you're boosting and then you have to let off.
Yeah, and you can see...
Before you overheat your engines.
And you can see, though, see how it's almost black?
Yeah.
And slowly, they go in sync with one another. I think that they're both accurate reflections of the engine temperature.
Uh-huh.
You can see that the border on the left side of the screen around the engines, it will cool down back to that sort of like teal color.
Yeah.
At the same rate that the smoke cools off.
Yeah. There's not like a whole lot going on the HUD, but at the same time, it delivers a lot of information.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
And I've got more to say about the mechanics of this game. I've never really played another game like it, and I've played other sci-fi racers and sci-fi arcade games and just like sci-fi vehicle games, but few have had like the same balance of dangerous stuff you can do to yourself compared to like what you're rewarded with for opting into that job.